What's up, my viewers? Welcome back to the Clanks case, corruptions, and Spanish Town madness. Everything in one right now, my viewers. So, the trial was on a break due to some COVID-19 situation, but the case is now reopened. So, as it opened, we give it you as it is. Sykes question aspects of prosecution case against Clanks accused. Chief Justice Brian Sykes has described as remarkable the lack of evidence presented by the prosecution to link alleged members of the Wandan faction of the Clangs gang to a knockings of an unidentified man at a hardware store in Spanish Town, St. Catherine in 2018. The prosecution is contending, however, that the testimony presented by a former gangster turned state witness is enough evidence to link members of the gang to that crime despite the absence of other material. The Crown on Monday made the assertion during their response to no case submission by defense lawyer representing the 28 defendants still on trial in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston. The trial resumed after a 2-week break due to one of the defendants, Stephanie Muma Christie, recently tested positive for the pandemic virus. The prosecution sought to defend the evidence it had to put forward for months against remaining alleged members of the criminal organization. 5 men were freed last month of charges linked to them, the gang, due to insufficient evidence. But on Monday, prosecutor told Sykes that there is enough evidence for the reputed leader of the Wandan faction of the gang, Andre Blackman Bryan, to answer to offense relative to being a part of the criminal organization. For example, the prosecutor pointed to count 20 on the indictment, which speaks to a knockings of an unidentified man on January 15, 2008 at Phil's Hardware in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The prosecutor said there is evidence to present by a former gangster turned state witness that Brian allegedly gave orders for other members of the gang to knock a man who walked on the roadway. The prosecutor said Brian told his foot soldier to nyama food, meaning they should knock that brother there, make sure him not get up back. The witness, according to the prosecution, said in the order the order was followed and the man was conned up several times and later died on the scene. However, Sykes challenged the argument that was being put forward by the prosecution to inquire whether there was other evidence presented at the trial to support the witness allegation. No, my lord, the prosecutor indicated. Seemingly shocked, Sykes replied, "This is a remarkable state of affairs. No police investigation took place, no police witness, no photograph, no post-mortem, no relatives of the deceased man, who we don't even know the name of." Question the seemingly ruled judge. The prosecutor then replied, "My lord, the Crown has put all that it has." In response, said Sykes, "In the 21st century, it is hard to accept such submission without supporting evidence to justify the claims that are being made." Despite the judge's remarks, the 4 members of the prosecution team maintain that the Spanish town St. Catherine based gang had a particular structure, and evidence was presented that each member had different roles in carrying out various criminal acts. In relation to the defendant, Tamrick Taylor, the prosecution said one of the two former gangster turned state witness had testified that he was given an order by Brian to take out a man by the name of Dooley. The prosecutor argued that the witness had testified that Taylor and another alleged collected guns and drove to the area of Reddy's Road in St. Andrew to commit that knockings. But Sykes again intervened and asked whether the prosecution was relying on the case only to prove that Taylor was a member of the criminal organization. In response, the prosecution replied yes and no. In clarifying that answer, the prosecutor explained that there was other evidence presented at the trial that provided that Taylor was in the company of the alleged gangster. Further, the crown remained that one of the two main witnesses had testified that Taylor was allegedly top shooter of the gang. Unconvinced by the argument being presented, Sykes suggested that there was a difference between association and membership of the gang. Turn to defendant Kevin Green. Prosecutor suggested by his lawyer that he was only charged because he was the brother of the alleged leader, Mr. Brian. To sustain their claims, they point to testimony by a former gangster that Green was a top-tier member of the criminal outfit. The witness also claimed that Green took order from his brother, and prosecutor claimed during their response to the non-case submission from the accused man's lawyer, him had to take over all the dons. The prosecutor said in court the testimony of the witness. The Crown also referred to testimony of witness that placed Green in the company of the gangsters at a meeting that were presented over by his brother. But Sykes again intervened and asked whether there was a concrete evidence that provide Green was in fact at the mentioned meeting. The Crown responded by indicating that there was sufficient evidence that placed Green at those meetings. Boy, my viewers, only have to pick out what you want to pick out of the case here, because trust me, it's a hill and gully ride case. It's a ups and down case. It's a very hard case to win, my viewers. But anyway, we continue. The 28 accused are being tried under the Criminal Justice Suppression Criminal Organization, better known as Anti-Gang, as you already know. Interestingly, 6 of the 25 counts under which the gangsters were charged were removed by the prosecution because of lack of evidence. Overall, the accused were charged with multiple other offenses, including being a part of a criminal organization, possession of illegal weapons, ammunition, and facilitating arsons and such. The offenses were allegedly committed between January and March and June, I should say, 2029 in the parish of St. Catherine. Some viewers, we are going to slow the case, you know, so we pick out full evidence out of the case, because it's a very rough battle between the prosecution and Sykes himself. People have it to say Sykes are with the gangsters, meanwhile people have it to say this and people have it to say that, but it all boils down to one thing: who do you, the viewers, believe in? Remember, the case is a very big case, and the defendant and the case are well known in various different aspects. So it's not something where you can just jump up and say this or this and that or that, my viewers. You have to really take a look into whatever going on. We see one of the defendants that was recently freed get caught up out of Jones Avenue the other night. One of the defendants goes by the name of Redman, get caught up out of Jones Avenue along with two other persons the other night. So as we can say, the thing I get sticky. The Clangs war still going. Yeah man, between the breakaway faction, the Clangs and the one done, there are still a strong feud between each other. Same way happening in Spanish Town. So Spanish Town is at tense now, my viewers. So if there should be another walk of more defendant, you know how the hotter clap's gonna be. Like, comment, subscribe.